this video. It's Bandcamp Friday today, and I actually have a new album out. At the beginning of the week, I didn't expect to be even making an album, but here we are a few days later, and I have got a new album out. So a few months ago, I started pulling some ideas together for the next Rain album, which would be a progressive rock album. And every time I sat down to try and pull something together, the ideas were coming, but they weren't right for Rain. It wasn't progressive rock. It was far too funky, far too jazzy. And so I would put that idea on the side and then try again, and the same thing would happen again. I realized this week that the problem I was having was that this stuff needs to get out there. Now, this is a theory I have about creativity, which I think is very important. If you're a creative person, not only do you have to envisage your creations, make your creations and finish them, but you also need to put them out into the public domain. Sitting there procrastinating out of perfectionism is not the way to go. You need to move forward, always forward. You need to be able to write, put a line underneath what you've done, move on, and see how it exists in the real world. That will be you looking at it in the real world and other people. And it's a lot different to listen to something once you know it's out there, or to look at something, than it is when it's sat on your shelf and you keep coming back to it and thinking, is it good enough? If you've got to the point where you can't think of anything more to do, then it goes out into the real world. So I ended up with a number of tracks. When I looked at them, I thought, well, there's enough for there for an album. So I quickly mixed them off and did the artwork, and I banged it out. It's coming out today. Hopefully this will now free up my brain to get into progressive rock mode for the next album, which is going to be a major album. I'm about to work on something very, a major release. I find it quite interesting to work on albums which that do take months to make, recorded in proper studios with proper production values, all that type of stuff, and get it pressed on CD and vinyl and all that. That's a wonderful thing to do, but one of the things that's great about Bandcamp is that you can actually release stuff that wouldn't be justified a release normally, and this material is definitely that. I haven't got a clue what's going on these tracks. This is me experimenting and exploring new ideas, and I'm not too sure about this new stuff. A lot of my ideas stem in production. So with this album, I'm again pushing the production further out, seeing where the nooks and crannies are in terms of music that is... When I'm making music, I'm always trying to find that point where it's either brilliant or incompetent. I find that a magical area to be in musically, where it's like where things are on the edge. It's a bit like a painting. You can do a painting that's photorealistic, or you could do a painting that gives you the idea that it's realistic, but when you look at it, you can see all the paint splats and splodges. It's only when you step back that you see it all come together. Now, this is something that I love to have musically, and I love to work on the edge. Often by doing that, then I can come up with definite processes that I know will work, and then I can use those on a more proper album. So what are the things that I've been doing on this one? What's so special about it? Very funky. That's one of the things. A lot of soloing. I've been soloing a lot, improvising a lot. It really is a jazz album, except there's no jazz on it. And a lot of solos on keyboards. I've been playing the keyboards more and doing a lot more keyboard solos than the guitar solos. I'm always exploring grooves on the drums. I'm always exploring drum sounds, and these drum sounds are very tight. They're very almost like weathered. And I've actually been experimenting with reverb. I don't usually put reverb on drums, but I've been doing that. These are all the sort of production ideas. Exploring again, which I did on the my previous album for Bella, exploring more avant-garde elements, getting outside of being like diatonic or harmonic. So that's another thing I've been doing. So anyway, the album is called Out of My Head, and it's not because I am out of my head, it's because I wanted to get this material out of my head. That's where the title comes from. It's 6 songs. It's an album's worth of stuff, but it's like an album that you would have had in the 1970s. It's about 40 minutes long. I'm really pleased with it. This one I've done completely on my own. There's no guest musicians. I've even mastered it myself, which I don't normally do. So that bit's probably a bit ropey. Anyway, see what you think. The link is down below. You will get to hear some of the album on this video. I'll put snippets on. There'll probably be some psychedelic video about to come in a minute. And that's it really. So I hope you enjoy it over at my Bandcamp, address down below, and new album out today, 3rd of May, called Out of My Head. I hope you enjoy it.